There's a famous guy called Stephen Covey. He wrote the book Seven Good Habits for highly effective people. And one of the habits is first thing first. What does it mean? It means actually that if you don't want to be stressed, but you want to be able to cope with your time and manage your time better and your workflow, you should actually look ahead and see what's coming, instead of just waiting for everything to pile up in just one pile and suddenly everything is urgent. Maybe we all had a period in life like that, or at least a day or a week or a month. And some people live in that area where everything is suddenly important and everything is urgent. How is it to live in that condition where everything is important and everything is urgent? So you just have to do all now. But couldn't you put something aside and wait with it? No, it's urgent, I have to finish it today, I have to finish today. And what about this? No, it's even more urgent. So how is it to live in that environment? It's really, really stressful. The question is, how did it become that stressful? How did we let it happen? Because that could be another way to see that we let it happen so that it suddenly piled up. He made this model with the 4 quadrants, and you can see it over here. You see that the 2 upper quadrants, 1 and 2, are important, both of them. 1 is urgent, the other one, 2, is not urgent. Then the lower 2 quadrants are less important. Number 3 is urgent, but less important. Number 4 is less important and not urgent. I put it up here so that you see it in a little different way, but still the same message. The 2 upper ones are important. Let's call them quadrant 1 and 2, as he did. And then we have the 2 down here. They are not that important. 1 is urgent, 1 is not urgent. We'll call them 3 and 4. Okay. So what does it mean if it's both important and urgent? It means that it's important, it's of high value for me, for the company, for the family, for the customer, for whoever, what context it is in. So it's very important to do it, but it's also urgent. Now we have to define urgent, because a lot of people say, oh, I'm stressed, we are urgent, everything is urgent, we are really busy, we're busy, we're busy. And if we tell ourselves we're busy, it will be a self-fulfilling prophecy, because then we are running around and we are not quite effective or efficient or whatever you want to call it and define it. But so we have to define what is urgent. For a matter of understanding, I would say that let's just say for this example that urgent is something you have to solve within the next 24 hours. Could be 48 hours, it could be 2 hours, it depends on the line of business or the context. Let's, for this example, and you'll find your own example and your own frame of reference, but let's say that it's urgent is something that I have to solve within the next 24 hours. But it's also a task that I first heard of within the last 24 hours. So not something that I have 10 things I have to solve within the next 24 hours, but I heard it months ago. No, 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 no. So if it's urgent, it's something that I hear of now, I get the task, and within the next 24 hours, I have to solve it. Okay, so all the things I have here, did I really first hear of them? First time I ever heard about these tasks, was it really within the last 24 hours? Or did I hear it before, when it was not that urgent and I just didn't bother, I didn't plan it, and then suddenly, day by day, it moved closer and suddenly became urgent? So if that's the truth, that I had a lot of tasks over here that are not urgent at the moment, they're important to solve, they're really important, but they're not that urgent. But I have to do it within the next 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, or 2 months, but it will come up some point. If I don't plan this, if I don't have my pipeline in my mind, if I just don't see my workflow, my task, my pipeline of different tasks if I don't see it ahead of me, if I don't make it brainstorming, what do I have to solve within the next 2 or 3 months? And I don't see that pipeline clearly and don't plan these tasks, they will day by day for sure pile up here, and suddenly they're all urgent at the same time, and I'll be totally stressed and confused. Some people, they see this quadrant 1 filling up all their time suddenly. So the quadrant 1 is actually the biggest. If you do that, it's difficult to change. If you want to change it, you have to stop and still look ahead and say, even though you have so many tasks now, you have to look and say, the next 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, what will appear? What do I have in my workload pipeline? And then plan some of it, otherwise you'll never break the pattern. So, in fact, when I talk to people, and I talked with thousands of people about this, most people only have that small a quadrant 1. Things that show up now, and I have to solve it within the next 24 hours. Otherwise, I have a lot of tasks over here that I know a little bit ahead. Maybe two days in advance, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 2 months, maybe 2 years. And then when I know, I can plan them and say, okay, which one of these will be due first? Well, this one, or this one, or this one. They're equally important, but they don't have to be solved at the same time. This one will show up first, and then this, and then this. Okay, I can take them out and plan them. What needs to be done? Who's going to do it? So I can plan both the efforts to solve this and make a small action plan, and also the resources. Maybe I can delegate some of the tasks. Maybe I can involve some people already and make them work upon some of the tasks within this assignment or whatever it is I have to get done. So I can make a small action plan and already communicate it, plan it, put it into structure so that I don't suddenly pile up here. Okay, what about these 3 down here? It's urgent, I have to do it now, but it's not that important. Could be different things. I'm not going to give you 10 examples because it could be a lot of things that I have to do now. It's now I have to do it. It's not that important. It's not something that's really important for my life, but it's urgent. I have to do it now. It could be something I have to sign because there's a man with a letter. And even though that's not, maybe it's not that important for me to get, it's something I get a monthly bulletin or whatever it is, and I don't want to read it this month, but I have to sign it now, he's there. So it will drag me out of what I'm sitting with. So that could be some different things, and there could be a lot of things that I have to do now, even though they're not as important as other things, but it's something that I need to do today. But then, on the other hand, we have a lot of things that are not urgent and they're not that important. Maybe I do it anyway. Why do I do it? It's less important and it's not even urgent, but I spent my time on it. Well, it could be something that I like to do, but it's not that important. But it could be what we call procrastination. It's easier for me to do, or it's more comfortable. But it could be some things that I could really postpone. It could be looking at the internet to see where I would go on summer holidays in 5 years. Well, some of you would say, that's really important, I have to have a plan. Yes, but it's not. It's less important than what I need to do now, and it's not urgent. Why does it have to be now, during work hours or during a period where I have a lot of things to solve? So this is the way of have an overview of your workflow. How am I spending my time? So do the first things first. So even though I have something that I don't have to solve now, I should look at it, make an action plan, put it in the calendar and plan it so that I have time and room and space to do the urgent things calmly and with a high quality. We could spend probably a couple of days of elaborating on this one. I hope it gave you some perspective that you can use in your planning and how to work with your tasks and your workflow. So have fun, make the exercise, and hopefully you'll have more time.